Welcome to Nerd of the Noob, episode 52, Marvel Females and Stargates. That was a horrible intro. Go with it! Hello! Hello! And welcome to this week's episode of Nerd of the Noob, where bow ties are cool.
Or so he says.
Crooked.
My name is Greg. I am your noob.
I am Michael. I am your nerd.
I want to see if you catch the switch.
Yeah, it did. Wow, my brain just exploded a little bit.
My name is Greg. As always, I am your nerd for the show.
I don't know what's real anymore.
He's the noob. And if you haven't been here before, we like to talk about anything and everything nerdy, whether it be in comics, movies, games, or anything from that matter.
Yes, absolutely, and I'm the noob.
Yeah.
Because you totally screwed me up this morning.
He's back this week. Last week we had a guest host. I'd like to think more along the lines of he's not the regular co-host, but the substitution for the one I liked last week.
Okay, got it. That took me a second. That was a good show. I liked it. I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah?
Yeah, this bow tie is just not going to work, I don't think. Keeps turning. That was a very good episode. We want to again thank Spencer for doing that show for us.
Yeah.
That helped out a lot. I've actually just mentioned to him that we may do another show with Spencer that doesn't include you.
Oh no!
Yeah. So, that being said, how was your weekend?
My son his team got beat horribly in Pee Wee football. And I really did absolutely nothing this weekend. Would you stop effing with that damn bow tie?
But bow ties are cool.
The only thing I did do, and this is a combo, is I taught him his first
Game of Magic
the Gathering.
And I won.
Yeah, he won his first game ever against me because the game was rigged and I totally let him win.
This weekend for me, I got very little sleep so far because this is just the first day of my weekend. But we went up to, we bought a new rug. Fancy things when you're an adult, let me tell you. Got a couple of books, picked up my comics, read the new Batman comic. I'm telling you, this is quickly becoming currently one of my favorite runs.
Mm-hmm.
This 0 year stuff because I love the art in it. I'm really enjoying the story that goes behind it. You know what I mean? I'm an origin whore. I mean,
you are.
I am an origin whore. I love me some origins.
Okay, I'm feeling like there's not enough energy in the room at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I don't know, but I'm feeling down.
Okay.
Let's pick it up. Okay.
I don't know much.
But I know. Yeah.
Other than that, I got a couple of books. There's a set of books, it's like 29 of them, that is included in this set from the mid-'80s to now.
Okay.
And he's ending the series, finally. And it's a fantasy set. I think it's 29 books. I think I lack like 5.
Have you read all of them?
I've read like 25 of them, 23 of them, something like that. It's a lot of books. I've been reading them for about 10 years.
Yeah.
So, and then other than that, we had football today. If you're not, I know this is a nerd show, but we nerd about everything.
Yeah.
Football, at least as far as Tennessee goes, the Vols won. The Titans won.
Yes.
Because I was dead asleep the whole time. Was it a good game? Did you get to watch some of it?
It's good because we won.
Okay. It wasn't a good game?
It was a weird
Who
game.
did we play? Steelers?
Yeah.
Okay. My cousin, producer, says that the Niners won.
He's a Niners fan, and his little boy's Pee Wee team beat the heck out of another local team.
So, yeah, we had a good week. MTSU got the snot beat out of them.
They're in Conference USA now, so yeah.
What does that mean?
They went up a conference.
Oh, so now they're going to be the bad guy, the low levels.
Yep, they'll be the low
Gotcha.
for a while.
Other than that, I think weekend tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow.
We're gonna go to
the game store.
The game store.
Maybe. We may get stuck here playing Magic.
All right, we're gonna move into.
I want to play Magic. I bought my first deck. It's a green deck. If any of y'all know what that means, I still don't really know what it means. But I know that he had like 4, what are they called? Lands?
Yes.
Land cards. I had like 9. So I whooped his... I forgot to tell you guys, they made an Age of Ultron hardcover, but it's $75. Ooh.
Go buy that.
That's expensive.
Can we move on now?
But I still totally whooped his butt.
Can we move on now?
And it was fun. I'm excited. Spencer says that they made a Age of Ultron hardcover, but it's $75. I would love to have that, but I'm not spending $75 on 12 comic books or whatever it is.
We're rambling.
I know.
Moving on into the long box. If this is your first time on the show,
I want to ramble.
The long
And
box.
for those of you that didn't notice, this week we've got 2 new things on the shelf.
You are killing me with the ramble this week. I need to sleep, damn it.
We've got Batman, little paper craft, and Superman paper craft.
Shut up.
Next week, I did buy some new shelves.
Next week, I'm doing the show with Spencer again, and you keep this shit up.
I got some new shelves. We're gonna have some shelves put up. They're gonna be nice.
Can we go now?
Oh, and on top of everything, Vin Diesel is probably the best Marvel actor ever.
All right, me again.
Alright, so moving on to the long box. First story in the long box this week has to do... Apparently somebody has decided they want to do a Stargate reboot.
Okay,
Did you read it?
I know about this. It's Roland Emmerich wants to do a reboot and reboot it into a trilogy of movies.
Okay.
I don't get why.
He wants to reboot the feature film, not the show. So here we go. In an interview with Digital Spy, director Roland Emmerich mentioned that he's planning a reboot to the feature film of Stargate. This is actually a smallish article. He says that we went to MGM, who has the rights, and proposed to them to do a sequel, but as a reboot, and reboot it as a movie, and then do 3 parts. Pretty soon we'll have to look for a writer and start. Emmerich co-wrote and directed the original 1994 film, which starred Kurt Russell, James Spader, Jay Davidson, and Alex Cruz.
I'll give you points if you can tell me which character each of those people played.
Well, I know Kurt Russell and James Spader.
Who'd they play?
Kurt Russell was, I don't remember the names anymore. Jack O'Neill. James Spader was the nerd with the glasses. Daniel.
Jackson.
Jay Davidson and Alexis Cruz.
Jay Davidson
was the dad?
No, Jay Davidson was Raw.
Was he Raw? And Alexis Cruz was probably the wife.
No, I think Alexis... I thought Alexis Cruz was the kid.
Right.
But
maybe.
Anyway, I don't get why they're doing this. We're not. The rest of the article just keeps doing that stuff. The show is. I mean, first of all, you count up everything they did. 10 seasons of SG-1, 6 seasons of Atlantis,
right?
3 seasons, I think, of Universe,
right?
I mean, you've got nearly combined 20 years already.
That being said,
worth of stuff.
That being said, okay, so this one was made in 1994.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is 20 years. It'll be 20 years next year.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic movie. Also, on top of that, Roland Emmerich did the original.
Yeah.
So he would stay true to the original, but he could readapt it to newer things. The technology now versus what they had then, I mean, hell, the shows probably have as much production value as the original movie did.
This is another one of those cases where, is it too soon to reboot this?
No.
Like this. I mean, on top of all of that, on top of the television series alone, you've got an original movie. Then you've got, I think, 4 or 5...
they were made-for-TV movies.
Made-for-TV movie. Well, they're episodes that they made in the movie. They're all good movies.
Right.
But, I mean, you have this very rich library of stuff there, and you just want to reboot it?
But he's not talking about rebooting the show. Okay,
No, but it's a universe. Stargate is considered a universe because
it is. But okay, Stargate Universe, the show was a flop. I think it only went on for a couple of seasons. I didn't even really like it.
Okay, I didn't like it either, but it's still there.
Was really good.
I love Atlantis.
You could reboot the movie and look at Atlantis, and it's still valid. Really, the only thing rebooting the movie does is make the original Stargate SG-1 invalid.
But
only in the way of Daniel and Jack, because none of the rest of them were in. Nobody else that was in the show was in there.
The way Daniel ends up later on down the line is the reason for Atlantis and stuff like that. You know, Keymaster in our chat says it's like X-Files. It shouldn't be done.
X-Files isn't a movie though. It was X-Files wasn't originally in a movie. I don't believe. I think it originally started as a show. He's not talking about rebooting the show.
It's a universe.
I don't think it messes with canon. That's why it's a reboot. I think it's a redo of the original. I'm for it.
Okay, look, let's not lie to him. I'm not lying. I'll go watch it. Like, I'm not lying to you about that. I would watch it because they're characters that I love, but
even if all they did was take the original script, split it into 3 parts, you've got Jack's backstory plus the finding of the Stargate as one movie.
I've seen all that, though.
And then you've got the second movie would be the first time through the gate and that kind of stuff, and then the third movie would be the retreat, but leaving Daniel at the other. They could take on that and expand on it much more.
The first movie, the original movie, had great pacing. Like, you don't want to do that. Like, there was so much good about that. James Spader as Daniel Jackson, he was that character, and he's still...
No, see, honestly...
No. I can't think of his name right now. Michael something. I can't think of it right now. The guy that did it for 10 years on the show...
I can't remember either.
If you remember, Michael Shanks, when he first started doing Daniel, he was doing James Spader's version of Daniel.
Okay, that being said, Michael Shanks is probably my favorite character through any and all of the Stargate, but that's Michael Shanks. I liked him in just about everything else he's done because I like his acting style. If they replace him as Daniel, I don't think it would necessarily hurt my feelings. I think this would give the movie an opportunity to update itself.
It doesn't need to be updated. It updated enough. You're not going to get characters like Sam and Teal'c and Daniel and Jack, and see all that running through. Not to mention you've got the Atlantis characters, which I really loved that series. Like, they did so much. Maybe he goes a different
direction with the Stargate. Maybe instead of seeing this version of Stargate, maybe he does a movie on the original finding of Stargate. You remember the episode they had where the guy went through the Stargate and got stuck on that island for that planet for 50 years, and they went back. Maybe they do that discussion.
I have a supporter in the chat. It's sacred, don't touch it. Hollywood has run out of ideas. I own the 10-season square box with the Stargate on the front. And I watch it on a regular...
Do you know what else you have?
Smallville that I haven't finished. Let's not get onto that topic.
That comes to my house next week because you're not even watching it anymore.
Stargate is a once-a-year, 1 through 10 completion thing for me.
Again, I agree with the producer. Yes, Hollywood is out of ideas. Have you seen the stuff that's new ideas? Can I bring Will Smith into the picture here? What's that new crappy movie that he just did?
After Earth.
After Earth. Okay, that's a new idea, and it sucks balls. I would rather reboot something that's 20 years old and let it know it's going to be good.
That's the problem. Is you're going in knowing something. You're not taking a chance as moviegoers, as entertainment, is right now. We are not taking a chance on anything new. I'm not going to the theaters to see something that I don't understand or that I haven't already seen something like before.
I'm more likely to go to the movies and see a Stargate reboot than I am to go to the movies and see Independence Day 2 with Will Smith because now he's broke. I mean, you get where I'm going with it. And the fact that Roland Emmerich is wanting to do it himself, Maybe it's just he's out of work and hasn't done anything.
That's the only saving grace, and I'm okay with that part. We're moving on from this.
Oh, no, wait. And see, the chat's going with me, too. RoboCop, you didn't like the trailer.
I did not.
I thought the trailer looked amazing. Okay, so what I try not to think of a reboot as we're just rehashing old ideas. It's a reimagining of a previous story. I'm sorry, have you read books lately? There's not a whole lot of original ideas. Everything I read is sci-fi fantasy. It's mostly fantasy, not sci-fi. The thought of a wizard or a magician is not an original idea, but you have an original take on that idea.
All right.
That's where I go with it.
Let's scrap. Rebooting the original series, the original movie is rebooting the series because there's no way on God's green earth they don't try to either turn it into a Bond-style series for movies where it's just continuative, or they try to start another TV show.
I love Les. You're either Team Nerd or Team Noob.
Which one?
We haven't been really this divided on something.
Which one has to take off their shirt? I don't.
No. Okay. I just I know you want to leave it alone. Okay, so for me, I'm gonna say yes because it's 20 years old. I think it's time, and also because the guy who did it originally wants to do it again, which means he's gonna hold true to what Stargate actually is, not what it's not. He's not going to just take it and pull a Total Recall on it, which from what I heard was a pretty decent reboot. But it was a completely reimagined, different thing. So that's my yeses. So you're up. What are your no's? Give me your no's.
I agree. It's when you have a show that was that successful, and it's a universe overall. The movie spawned a universe. When you have such a... I saw it. Thanks, Les.
Our chat is fighting right now. Keymaster says, "What's next? Reboot MASH?" And the Spencer goes, "Oh my God, yes!" I don't know if I'm okay with that one. But that being said, go ahead.
You're essentially saying that, this whole thing... I know it has worked recently. We'll do a TV show. The most recent successful one was Hawaii Five-0.
Yeah, fair enough. That's really successful.
It was really successful. I get that, but maybe it's because I'm too close to it. Because I've seen every single episode of everything they put out, except for Universe, because that show was just so weird.
It was more Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, it really was. I just sometimes leave something sacred alone. When something earns that 10-year spot. When it's earned 10 years plus the other shows that spawned off of it, I think it becomes untouchable. I believe it should become untouchable at that point.
I'll let you have your opinion. I completely disagree. I think some things are...
I like you. You have an opinion. Fuck off, sir.
I think some things are worthy of a reboot to get a new generation into it. Because let's be honest, how many kids in their teens are going back and watching season 1 of Stargate SG-1?
If they ask me, they can watch mine.
Very, very, very few. But if you come out with this new movie, if you come out with these new movies, they're going to get curious and go back and watch that stuff. So, I love the fact that we've got differing sides on this.
Actually, did not think it was going to do that.
I did not either. That small of an article should not have us arguing that much.
All right, move on.
So
you start up this one.
Huh?
You do this one.
Okay, so the next thing we've got, the next two stories are kind of the same. This one says, could we see a female lead Marvel movie in the future? This is a long... Did you read this?
It's just... but it's an article asking the question.
Okay. With their cinematic universe continuing to grow, Marvel Studios is well aware that diversity should remain a key element of their offerings. As director and producer Luis D'Esposito pointed out in a conversation today with ComingSoon.net, one very tentative plan for the future involves a female-driven superhero film. And then I'm going to read the quote, and that's it for the article that I'm reading. There's obviously getting louder and louder that we want a female lead superhero, he says. We have strong female characters in our films, from Black Widow to Pepper Potts to Peggy Carter, and you never know. Maybe there's an offshoot film with one of them, or Captain Marvel, you know? Okay, so that being said,
I'm going to go right off the bat and say they're only shot it, and we've thought about this today. We talked about this.
Where's my list?
We talked about this today. Of the women that are in the Marvel Universe, 98% of the good characters are within a team dynamic.
And that's unfortunate.
It is very unfortunate because they're good characters.
Right.
Storm, Rogue, Jean Grey, X-Men. You've got...
So here's what we did earlier.
You got Sue Storm in Fantastic Four. You can't...
You got people like Mary Jane. She's not a superhero, but she's a convincing lead. You know. So here's what we did earlier. We went through... We went through a list of Marvel female leads, like most popular. Mm-hmm. And we went through, and I've got 6 here that I think and we think could be leads in and of themselves.
And then there are a few that we thought about. But
Spider-Woman, for me, was a top one.
She's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
She's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent that's also part of the... Avengers.
Yes.
And like in this new reboot, she's in that. Mm-hmm. It's very good. There's a lot of intrigue that goes on with that. She's got some interesting powers that apparently can come and go. She's been given them. They've been taken away. She's been given them again. You've got Phoenix.
But see, the problem with that is a lot of people still see the Phoenix, the quote-unquote Dark Phoenix saga. And that is... The Phoenix character, that whole saga was built around... an X-Men storyline. Like,
yeah, I'm not
Chris
saying
Claremont wrote the X-Men for 20-something years or more.
Right.
That was his baby. Like,
I think that one would be a good one, but again, it's one of those ones that would probably be hard to write as a single movie.
Yeah, I don't think it would work
where
as a
Spider-Woman would work as like a political intrigue type thing. Then you've got Miss Marvel. This, you know who she is.
The current Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel is...
Are they the same one?
Yes. Carol Danvers.
I don't think they're the same one.
Yeah, same person. She is... she's the current, like... What do they call it? I can't think
She's the one with the black suit with the big S on it?
Huh?
Isn't that Miss Marvel?
That's Captain Marvel right there. Carol Danvers, she's strong, she flies. At one point, she gets... that's how Rogue got her powers. Like, her current powers. What are you looking for?
Just keep going, I'm looking at
because of the type of character she is, she's a solo act. She is involved with the Avengers, but not completely. She is... a very strong character. She's cosmic. That's the word I was looking for. She has the ability to be a cosmic character, which could tie in with the Guardians of the Galaxy. I think she would be a really good first choice for a Marvel
Wait,
woman.
so who is that?
That's her. That's Carol Danvers before she became Captain Marvel. She was Ms. Marvel.
This isn't Miss Marvel. I think this is Warbird.
Same person.
Okay, well, that's a different character. I was talking about this actual character.
Same character, just different iterations.
Okay. Well, I like this version. This is... What is this? What is she called here?
That's Ms. Marvel, or Warbird, whatever you want to call her.
Warbird, okay.
I think it's Ms. Marvel.
That's what I was looking at. Like, I was looking at this, and I was just like... when I was reading this, I thought she could make a pretty decent...
I agree. I think she...
movie by herself.
I agree. I think I would choose her as the first lead, but we had another couple, and what do you think about a She-Hulk?
She-Hulk could work. It depends, you know me, origin stories. You know, love me some origin stories. But yeah, so Miss Marvel, what did we say? Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Why is her name Captain Marvel at one point?
There is an older character called Captain Marvel or Captain Marvel. He died of cancer. She is now the current captain.
Okay. And then Warbird, which I think I would prefer. To keep the name problem down, I would say you'd rather do the Warbird version.
I'd put money. Because of how she is right now in the Marvel Now stuff.
Thank you. Les has got it. Notable aliases is Binary, Warbird, Catherine Donovan, and Captain Marvel. Okay. Thank you, Les. That is awesome. I needed that.
Because this is her current iteration.
Okay.
Marvel, because no one else owns it, the Marvel movie productions would use this version of her. They may do a small backstory of her being Ms. Marvel.
Okay.
And then getting the powers, becoming Captain Marvel. I honestly don't know how you do that without building up the history of the previous, which, by the way, just as an FYI, I would love to see a movie with a superhero that doesn't dies of a natural cause, dies of cancer. I mean, that's just what happens.
That would be like torturous to watch almost.
I think it would be
going through all that stuff just to be frail and everything at the end.
I think it would be really cool, and then to have her come in and become the next captain, I think that would be kind of cool.
Other ones we've got, as I said, Scarlet Witch. The reason I say lead for that, and that's not necessarily a standalone.
No,
that would be an X-Men type title, X-Men Avengers type title. But if you did the House of M story and put her at the forefront of it,
the problem is with so much was on House of M.
Yeah,
have you read it?
Parts of it.
You need to read the whole thing. It's fantastic. You can't do it right now, not with the way everything currently is.
And then the other one I wrote down, and you didn't necessarily like this one as much, but Hope Summers.
That's again
reading AVX. She's not necessarily a
X-Men.
She's not necessarily an X-Men. She's not an Avenger. But like I like where it goes. Like she's the savior. Whose kid is she? She's obviously Cyclops'
Scott and Jeans.
So I don't know. I think her character is considered the savior of the X-Men.
I'm okay with her leading a movie, but it would be a group movie. I think after all the ones we looked at today, because we looked at probably 50 or 60 characters, out of all of them, the two that I could see possibly happening is She-Hulk and Captain Marvel.
I still say Spider-Woman would make a good one. I like the.
I think there's a huge possibility a character like that could end up in
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I agree, but I think the opportunity is out there for that. But I mean, when you look at it, if you look at comic books as a whole, when you think female leads, first thing you go to is DC with Wonder Woman.
Exactly.
Marvel really doesn't have a standout woman lead.
To go off of this, the other part of the story is it's rumored that Marvel has approached Katee Sackhoff to do a part. You got on my ass because I said I didn't think she would be good for Harley.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago. I, however, think she would make a badass Captain Marvel. A Carol Danvers. I think she would. The picture that they've even got here looks great. Just alone, like I think she is a strong female. I agree on that side. I just don't think she can play the crazy well enough for Harley. I think she can play the military style, strong, confident Captain Marvel.
Well, all this really article is it's got a quote from her saying that there has been some checking of availability. She doesn't quite know exactly that. There's been a lot of questions about the first quarter of next year, and then that's where that one ends. So really, what we wanted to put in there is that it looks like they are trying to get this in the works.
I think Marvel's going to run into a problem at some point very soon of finding marketable solo characters.
Not necessarily, because I mean, really, Iron Man was really never a marketable solo character by himself. Now, he was a giant part of Avengers in the comic books.
Who?
Iron Man.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably, if before the movies, he was probably more famous for being Iron Man in Avengers than being Iron Man
in his own series.
In his own set.
Yeah.
So they could take just about anybody and dump them in the... I mean, as long as they're not part of a standing group. Like, the Fantastic Four are part of the Avengers at some point or another.
Yeah.
But you can't take Sue Summers out of that. Or Sue Storm out of that and actually let it wouldn't work. Because she doesn't work that way.
No, that's
but somebody like a Captain Marvel or a She-Hulk, that could work a little bit more.
I think there's a reason all these characters work in the Marvel Universe. It's because they work together as a team, as a group.
Keep going, I'm listening.
And so that causes a problem for the solo stuff.
We're just looking, somebody in our chat, Alice in our chat, brought up an article that says Batman authors exit, claim DC Comics banned gay marriage storyline.
Yeah, because Batwoman is gay.
But apparently, this is going to make it into next week's show. So there's a little hint of what's going to show up next week. So if you had to guess for Katee Sackhoff, so if your options were Spider-Woman, Captain Marvel, or She-Hulk,
I think the Captain Marvel would be the most I think it would be the most plausible right now.
Okay.
I don't know how the hell they would do it, because she, at one point, binary and everything, becomes a cosmic character.
Right.
Which is what you would consider the Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they were going to do it, they would play that off of them. And she wouldn't... I mean, I wouldn't put it off of them not even starting her out on Earth.
Honestly, I think it would be interesting to see maybe like a cross-platform if they start her out, if Binary is her first character, let them come in, do the origin of the Binary, and at the same time kind of have if they did it right, they could do it really cool, have another movie going with the old Captain Marvel and work Binary through to
meet up with that.
What was her name again? Go from Binary to Warbird to Miss Marvel, and then you end the Captain Marvel movieverse with him dying of cancer, and at the end of that movie you have her taking over Captain Marvel, and then you can continue that whole series.
Write it. It's finished. Let's do it. Let's move on out of the long box.
You think?
Yeah, we've yelled enough. Those ended up being way better than I thought they would.
See, right? This is why I love this show. All right, guys. So we've got a new nerd list for you. We know you guys love these. We loved the last one, which was the top 10 movies. Mm-hmm. Was amazing.
Okay. I need clarification on this.
Okay.
Do I or can I include anime?
Okay, so this nerd list is your top 10 cartoons. If cartoons, I'm going to say clarification means that it is an inked or a hand-drawn or it is an animated thing.
Okay. Anime is in.
So, yes, I will allow anime because it is technically a cartoon. It is a cartoon loosely based, but I would say anime is... Okay, I probably just pissed off some people, but it's... whatever it is.
You will die a painful death.
Probably. I was talking about this. We went to the Japanese restaurant last night, and we were talking about it with some people. One of the guys, he's our age, and he said his favorite cartoon right now is Adventure Time.
Well, I've watched it. I think it's hilarious. I just don't have time.
I don't understand.
Actually, I really like Regular Show. It's the one with the bird and the raccoon. I think they're funny.
See, I don't watch cartoons. For me, it would probably be stuff like Phineas and Ferb may very well be one of my favorites of all time. It's an amazing show.
I'll go older. and I'm gonna put it in my top 10. Wacky Racers.
Oh, such a good show.
I love.
Okay, so
that.
here's my top 1, and it's top 10 cartoons. Now, this is an episode. Okay, this isn't even a character base. This is just my favorite episode of a cartoon.
Spit it out.
It is the Barber of Seville.
Oh, Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes,
and Elmer Fudd. By far, my favorite cartoon episode of all time. So then you got things like Darkwing Duck, Looney Tunes, Family Guy, Futurama. Honestly, 10 is going to be really difficult. I think I'm going to have to just write a list of 60 and narrow it down.
I go old and I go new. Like, remember Centurions? They had the armor that beamed down from space, and like one was air, one was ground, one was water.
I have to go back.
They had those the holy suits that it all attached to.
Oh yeah.
I loved that show.
That was like the cheap G.I. Joe.
Yeah. And then you had like what? We had like Mighty Max when we were growing up.
Yeah, stuff like that. I think this is going to be hard to do because you've got stuff from
Dinosaurs.
like when you were 5. You've got stuff from when you were like 10. Then you've got stuff when you were 20, and we're almost 30 now, and there's new stuff.
Young Justice,
amazing show.
The reason we started the show.
Yeah, exactly. If that doesn't make it into our top 10, at least it's number 10.
We're gonna post it on Facebook, on Twitter, and on our forums. So please go to any of those 3 places. Shoot us your list. Let us know. It's going to be 2 weeks, just like every time. So you got 2 weeks to get it in. Please get it in as quick as possible. We'll give you an update of where we're at, kind of sort of next week.
If we have to, we may have to do this as top 20 if it becomes
that big.
Because this has the ability to become ridiculous. So, all right. So moving on, we're going to go to the comic of the week, and this week's comic of the week was Forever Evil #1 from DC Comics. You figure this is our 52nd episode. DC is in New 52. The symmetry
didn't even
matches.
cross my mind.
This is written by Geoff Johns, pencils by David Finch, inks by Richard Friend. Colored by Sonia Oback, and covered by David Finch as well.
Okay, so I'm going to go with... I read this on my phone, on Comixology.
Uh-huh.
It must have been a hell of a lot of panels.
Yeah.
Because it was so small, I couldn't really appreciate the art. This is probably one of the first ones we've read. Hello, Toria. This is the first one we've read that... I didn't like on the mobile app.
Okay. Well, you also have to remember, this is post the Trinity War.
Yeah.
Which is the Justice League thing that just happened.
Yeah.
What I'm also trying to keep in mind is that I'm pretty sure this comic is only in the Justice League storyline. Here's what it is. The Justice League is presumed dead. All of it, and now there's an alternate dimension,
the Crime Syndicate,
and what it is it's essentially the Justice League, the original Justice League, but the bad versions of them,
right?
And they have released all the bad guys from all the big prisons, and now it's crazy. Like there's people everywhere, and they're just taking over.
There's one scene that kind of threw me off really bad. Ultraman comes in, finds Lex's kryptonite, crushes it into a powder, heats it up so that it starts to dissolve, and then snorts it, and then it's like, I'm all powerful again. It's like, what the hell just happened?
It was very confusing for like the first 15 pages.
Lex was kind of a badass. Okay, so I'm thinking... Here's what I'm thinking this story is going.
Before I forget, hang on. We want some clarification. From the nerd list, yes, they need to be in order from 1 to 10 because your number 1 gets 10 points, your number 10 gets 1 point. So I would put them in order as best you can.
The story for this is called Forever Evil, and I think it's kind of I think what ends up happening is that the Crime Syndicate tries to take over, and then the rest of our villains fight back.
That makes sense.
I think that's what happens. Like, Forever Evil, I think it's a ruse on the titling. The reason I picked this is there was a news article spoiling that at the end of the issue, they reveal who Nightwing is.
To the world.
To the world.
Like, not just reveal, like, they throw up his driver's license, Dick Grayson's driver's license, up on people's computer screens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's straight up crazy, which is why I'm hoping that the continuity for this stays out of the Batman Nightwing, because I'm currently reading Batman Nightwing. I'm actually been thinking about picking up Batman Incorporated, but it looks so weird. There's so many weird characters. So I'm kind of hoping that doesn't play into it, because then this just becomes, it kind of puts a hamper on the storyline for that.
I think it's a big thing. I mean, no, I don't remember any time where I think Bruce's identity has been in question on several occasions.
Right.
I don't think Dick Grayson's has really ever been in question.
Well, and that being said, from what I could tell from reading, the only reason they were able to do that is they found him, but apparently the evil version of Owlman's, or whatever his name, his sidekick, it's also Dick Grayson, who's the sidekick. So I guess they put two and two together and went, okay, well, Nightwing must be Dick Grayson. Here you go.
Yeah.
So but here's my only problem with that is, what point did that prove? If you get down to it, this whole issue.
So what they said is to anyone that tries to fight back, they won't just kill you; they'll go after your loved ones. This one is basically calling out the Bat family because he's got a lot of acquaintances, he's got a lot of associates. That is,
I think they even showed a panel with Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, going, "Oh shit."
The biggest thing that I have seen it mentioned that it has been said that Bruce Wayne supports Batman. So I don't think that one's in question.
Right.
But everyone else, I think, is in danger now.
Right.
Because Dick Grayson lived with Bruce, and, so Alfred could be in danger, and then Barbara's going to be in danger because they were romantically involved, and Batgirl was always around.
Right.
And so on. I also think this also brings out Jason Todd into that series, because he's currently Red Hood. You don't see a lot of him right now. I think it would be cool to have him kind of come back in and...
Because don't some people consider him a bad guy?
Yeah, well, he's an anti-hero.
Right.
He's not a bad guy, but he's an anti-hero.
He's a hero that kills people.
There you go. He's Punisher.
He's Punisher. All in all, I think...
Did you like the art?
The art I enjoyed. It was weird. It was different.
The art was about a 3 for me. The story, I loved.
Yeah, I thought
the writing came off really well.
Although, granted, okay, so this may just be me. I'm not the biggest fan of the villains. Like, they have to be class. I like the classic villains. I like Sinestro. I like Joker. But do I want to sit down and do I want to read a Sinestro comic book? Not really. Like, I don't care enough about his backstory to want to see him, because the whole point of reading a book about somebody is you want to see them succeed, at least in my point.
I wouldn't mind seeing villains succeed every once in a while.
Well, but in the right circumstances, and this is just not it for me. I think the story was good. I think in and of itself, I think it's a good story. But inevitably, we know what's going to happen.
We think. I mean...
We know the Justice League's not dead. It's just that there's no way Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman and Aquaman... There's no way they're all dead. At most, maybe Aquaman or Cyborg or Flash is dead. And they have to bring them back by doing some other thing.
Here's an out there thought. What if this isn't even our continuity and our Justice League goes and defends that planet?
Which continuity are you talking about?
Well,
the Forever Evil one?
Yeah, what if it's...
Well, no, because I'm pretty sure this is...
No, it's been announced Grant Morrison wants to start pulling the multiverse back.
I think this has to do with... This has everything to do with the end of the Trinity War. Now, unless for some reason the Trinity War created a split in the multiverse...
I'm just saying, it would not be the weirdest thing for them to use a multiverse to not touch...
616.
No, that's Marvel. To not touch the DC proper.
Right.
It wouldn't be I wouldn't be against it. I think it would put something weird out there. I mean, obviously they killed someone's Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash.
Right. See, that's my thing. This can't be a true thing because not only does it kill characters, it kills titles. Mm-hmm. You know, so I mean, it can't stick. And those storylines like me kind of bother me. Mm-hmm. Like things where people die, I at least want them to stay dead for a few years. You know, well, like Flash did it. Flash was dead. They replaced him with Wally. Barry Allen was dead. They replaced him with Wally West. I'm good with that. You replaced somebody, and then they brought him back when they had the opportunity. When they had the Black Lanterns, and
they brought him blackest back way before then.
Well, yeah, but you get where I'm going with it, and so. I think it's a good book. I don't know that I'm going to continue reading Forever Evil.
I might if it's only like a 4 or 6 issue thing. I might trade it. I might get a trade.
Yeah, but like right now I've got so much other stuff I'm reading. I just picked up 9 comics: Batman, Nightwing, Green Lantern, all that stuff. It's not good enough for me to continue.
I'm going to give it a 4 right now.
No, I'll give it a 3.
Okay. Well, I will try it again. We'll get a couple of our listeners to give us some reviews on later issues.
Right.
All right, we're going to move out of the comic of the week into Noob Versus. Last week's Noob Versus was a special guest vote, and it was Master Chief from Halo versus Snake from Metal Gear Solid. And I'd like to say, Snake brought it home. You know why?
Because you voted 3 or 4 times?
I did not. I'm not even sure I voted for myself, just to be fair. But Snake brought it home. He took the gold. He beat the little dude. There's a guy inside the suit. At this point, he's had to have been in that suit so long, there's got to be... Yeah, he's just going to be shriveled. I think that's what's happening.
You think that's what it is?
I think that's what happened.
Okay. All right. So, what do we got for this week's Noob Versus, Les? We need our
Noob Versus.
We need a new one.
Dynamic duos. Pairs that are typically together good characters or bad characters.
Are we keeping Batman and Robin out of it?
Yes.
Okay, so no Batman and Robin. The dynamic duos.
Dynamic duos.
I have to look around the room. Okay, I've got one. It's a little weird.
Okay.
But I might win with it. Sheldon Cooper and Leonard Hofstadter.
In a fight to the death? You really want to go with that?
Sheldon is an evil genius.
Okay.
I think Sheldon Cooper and Leonard Hofstadter from The Big Bang Theory. That's my... They're always together. That's my dynamic duo.
Crap. What just happened?
I'm getting clapped for in the chat.
What the hell just happened?
I just happened to look over at my board and see The Big Bang Theory, and I went, that could work.
All right, let's see if I can go TV with yours. Oh
Lord.
No, I think there's too many people.
Don't look at the chat because you want to get your own ideas. Don't look at the chat.
Fine. My dynamic duo is going to be... Because I can't use the ones I saw.
Uh-huh.
Captain Kirk and Spock.
Ooh, that one could hurt.
Because they're always together.
So we've got, like, Spock. We got 3 geniuses and a guy that likes to fight. No,
I know why Captain Kirk and Spock wins.
Why is that?
Do you know why? Because Sheldon would never fight Spock. He couldn't bring himself to fight him.
What is it? It's paper rock scissors lizard Spock. What kills Spock? The lizard poisons Spock. Leonard, I'm sure, or Sheldon at one point, I'm sure, had a pet lizard that could totally poison Spock. Boom! I win!
Nope, it's not happening. They respect him too much. They would walk in the room, and Leonard would just babble and then go have sex with Penny, and Sheldon would pass out.
No, I think
Sheldon would pass out.
Okay, so if you want to bring Penny into it, fine. I got it. I'm pretty sure Penny could beat up Spock.
No,
and she would be willing to do it.
Spock would dodge and then grab, and she'd be down.
Really? He would
dodge?
What, are you Soldier Boy? So yeah, guys, this week's you're gonna vote for either Leonard and Sheldon or Captain
That's the porn version.
Oh my god! Stupid Spock name. Captain Kirk or Spock and Spock. Oh Jesus. So you're gonna go vote. And you're gonna go vote for the Big Bang Theory crew because obviously that's the answer to everything there.
No, it's not happening. They can't fight them.
Is this the first time we've done one that's not comic book characters?
For the most part, I think so.
Nice. All right, and now we're going to move into the coming attractions. This week's top 5. And first place was Riddick with 18.6 million, which seems to be doing really well.
Yeah. Considering the next one's 10 million below it.
Yeah, Lee Daniels, the Butler, at 8.9 million.
Instructions not included. Don't even know what the hell that is. I said that last time. 8.1 is number 3. Number 4 is We Are the Millers. So they're still going. Like, We Are the Millers is still making money.
And number 5 is Planes at 4.2 million. I saw a blooper reel from We Are the Millers, and
where they get her with
they play the Friends song,
and they're like, "I love this song," and just everything,
and they clap for it. So yeah, it was good. We've got our coming attractions for September, if we see anything. September 6th is Riddick, starring Vin Diesel, which we're past that. The Family with Robert De Niro.
I've seen more previews for that. Looks so funny.
Yeah, it does. And that's on September 13th. September 20th is Prisoners with Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal.
I've heard that that's probably one of his best performances to date.
And here's your favorite one.
September 27th, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. Going to take Trent to see that one. I've decided I think he can sit still long enough, and he loved the first one. We're going to go see that movie.
And this is honorable mention in the movies Rush and Insidious 2. I don't know either of those. All right, and then we got some trailers for you, which I watched half of them. The first one is the first RoboCop trailer for the new RoboCop movie. I thought it was good.
I thought it was not.
Then we've got a 6-minute preview of Marvel's The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So, highlight on this thing, they're introducing dude into the agency, the new young kid, and he talks about how he thinks Coulson is dead. And then Coulson comes out of a dark corner and goes, "Welcome to level 7."
Right.
And then he goes, "Sorry, I couldn't help myself. This corner was really dark, and I thought it'd be funny." I love that.
It was good. Then we got a season 2 promo for Arrow, and we also have Starred Up teaser. It's first teaser for the British prison drama Starred Up. I've not heard of it, but I didn't actually get to watch that one this week.
I'm sure it's very British.
Probably very British. All right, and that's it for your movie news, that kind of stuff. Now we're going to move on into our short box, which is short this week.
First up is a little bit of Marvel news with Paul Giamatti. The article, it's from comicbookmovie.com, and it just simply states that from doing the movie, he's really getting a feeling like there's going to be, maybe in the third Spider-Man or the fourth one, there will be a huge Sinister Six presence.
Okay. You've already got 2 of them so far.
He doesn't have. He even says, "I don't have any knowledge. I don't know what's going on." Just the way it seems to be building. That
you got Rhino and Electro.
Now, I'm of 2 minds of this one. Just on real quick, because we don't like to stick on these stories. If it's the true Sinister Six, and there is a reason behind them being all them being together, I'm okay with them in one movie. But if they're just throwing villains in movies just to throw villains in movies, like the last,
no, that's unmentionable. We don't talk about that one.
Like the last Tobey Maguire one. If you're just throwing villains in to throw villains in that makes no sense together, then I don't want it. But if it really is building to a true Sinister Six, I'm perfectly okay with that.
All right, fair enough. I think it's a good idea if it's done right. Like you said, I mean, you may even just give them their own movie.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I mean, I don't know who.
I don't think they would hold their.
I don't know
movie.
who the hero could be.
That's what I'm saying. You have to have it in a Spider-Man movie, but devoting a Spider-Man to almost an all-action flick, having him figuring out ways to defeat these guys would kind of be big.
Fair enough.
You got lost.
Yeah, I got lost in the chat there for a second. That's a cool one. So, just a little bit of short news. Next thing we've got is some DC news. Batman may have a love interest. This was found by Keymaster. Batman may have a love interest in Man of Steel 2. You read the articles.
Yeah, they are. There's been a casting sent out for a tall and physically gifted, I guess you would put it, female.
Physically gifted.
I don't think it's a lead point. I think it's a strong supporting character.
Okay.
Which is also to assume that if it's continued from the Nolanverse, and this is an older, grizzled Batman, that him and Selina had a falling out.
Right.
Vicky the Whale. And they're talking about how tall Ben Affleck is to bring in someone. You know, Ben Affleck is 6'4". The from Latino Review, he's got a couple in here. Charlize Theron is 5'10", or Adrienne Palicki. I can't say her name right now.
She's 5'11".
She's 5'11". Although I don't think that's a problem. I mean, Lord of the Rings proved you don't have to be short or tall to play a character.
Right.
So that's not a problem. I like in the chat, Keymaster says Huntress. You know, this is Keymaster's thing. Huntress, I think, would be a cool. It's a very old character.
Isn't she Arrow?
She's an Arrow, yes.
Okay.
But they're talking about trying to combine all this stuff, I think, and I think Huntress would be a good shot, but I don't know. We have a list.
See, here's my only problem with this whole thing. I think it's cool that they're going to give him a
new love interest.
A new love interest. That being said, I think it should be in a Batman movie, not in a movie that's supposed to be Man of Steel 2, Batman Superman.
You think that they're making the new Superman movie too much about Batman?
Yeah, I really do, because it's going to be unless this is not a Man of Steel movie, unless this is Batman and Superman.
So you think Man of Steel gets a one-parter, and then they transition over into a new title?
Yes,
I'm okay with that.
That's what it should be. I think if they're gonna give him all this backstory, there's no point in a movie where Batman is probably only there to fight Superman. Why does he need a love interest?
Well, the title is tentatively Batman Superman, not Batman versus, or maybe, but the Batman Superman titles, they work together. Everyone's assuming it's Batman versus Superman.
Well, okay, even if they're coming in to work together, again, I put out there, why does Batman suddenly need a love interest? It's not like they're going to be able to develop that unless they're bringing in new Batman movies.
Go to the other link we have. We found a link from IGN. It's just a list of possible love interests that are already in the universe. Number 1 is Vicky Vale. Vicky Vale. I would be okay with Vicky Vale because that would be kind of like Superman has Lois and Bruce has Vicky. They're both reporters. I think it would be this weird, I think you have the opportunity to bring her in to work with Lois on Superman stories, but she's bringing stories from Gotham about Batman, collaborating. So I can see how that would work. You've got Selina Kyle. I don't think that's I doubt that, because
especially if they're not recasting,
right? If they're giving him a new love interest, I don't think it's going to happen.
You got Julie Madsen. Apparently, she was a recurring Bruce Wayne love interest.
Just a few months after Batman debuted in Detective Comics, Talia al Ghul is not going to happen. She's dead. I doubt they bring her back to life. Although the Al Ghul thing. Silver St. Cloud was created by Steve Englehart in the 70s for Detective Comics, and let's see here. What is I had it and I lost it.
What?
She was a villainess in disguise.
Okay. Then you got Julia Pennyworth.
She's an old character. It's said that she is
Alfred's
daughter.
I would say Alfred's name is Pennyworth.
I don't see that happening.
Sasha Bordeaux.
You've read about her, haven't you? She's in the newer stuff. It says that She's a recent addition to the Batman mythos, debuted as Bruce Wayne's personal bodyguard.
Oh yeah. No, I've seen this in the new the new Batman cartoon. Has got an Asian chick that's his bodyguard, Bruce Wayne's bodyguard.
Apparently, they're also sleeping together. She gets mad because Bruce is ditching her every night, and she eventually finds out his secret, falls in love, and kind of starts going out on the hunt with him.
And you got Pamela Isley.
I wouldn't mind seeing Poison Ivy thing, like, because Batman has such a history with loving his, the villains.
Right.
I think that would be kind of cool.
And then the last one, I'm putting a big fat no on. They've got Diana Prince.
I think
Wonder Woman.
having just Diana Prince show up
No!
would be cool.
Nope!
I'm just saying.
Nope!
I'm just saying.
Nope! No!
Okay, moving
You're
on.
wrong! You're wrong!
Thank you, Dr. Cox.
You're wrong!
Move on to the next story.
Let's see. Next thing we got is a little bit of comic book news. 2 character identities from the past return in Marvel's Captain books. Whatever that means.
Okay, this one threw me the hell off. The first one is Nomad from Captain America. Because over the past year, I think Captain America was trapped in another dimension.
Okay.
And he was there for years, although when he came back, it's discovered that it went like that in the Marvel universe. I'm kind of wondering who the hell he is as far as this is concerned. Nomad is a character, originally it was Steve Rogers when he gave up the mantle of Captain America for a short while.
Okay.
He became a character called Nomad. I'm wondering if he is either inspired this dude to become a hero, or it's like his son from that dimension. I have no idea. I kind of want to go back and read this story of Captain America now.
Okay.
And then the second one was, you should enjoy this one. In the Captain Marvel universe, they've got Carol Danvers returning to her cosmic identity, like I said, as binary.
Which I think is cool. She's quickly becoming one of my more favorite female characters, which is why I was talking about her so much earlier. Just reading her in the Avengers and seeing her in different things, I think she's a really complex character because of the different identities, and I think she's very powerful to begin with. So I think she's a good lead. I think that's a good little article, and this just means that Marvel's bringing these guys back. I would like that Nomad one. Looks interesting.
I'd like to know why, because it says, but he left a legacy in the dimension he was forced to abandon. I want to know.
You think it's his son?
I think it's his son,
because he's got the shield.
He's got a version of it.
Yeah, he's got the star on it. That I would be willing to read that. If you find that, let me know.
Yeah,
because I would be willing to read that. All
right, moving on.
What else we got? We've got a little bit of movie news. Well, I don't know why I just did that. So fabulous. Will Smith could possibly be changing his mind about doing the Independence Day sequel, considering his last movie just bombed. It says, when Independence Day 2 was officially announced in June, director Ronald Emmerich, hey, look at that!
It comes full circle.
Said that Will Smith would not return. Now in an interview with Digital Spy, Emmerich says that he's scheduled to have a meeting with Smith about reprising his role in the sequel. I sometimes say no. Will Smith... What?
I sometimes say no. Will Smith will not be in it because he didn't want to do it at first. Now we have a meeting planned. We want to talk about it again. Anything can happen. This is just basically conjecture. It's saying he's had so many flops lately,
right,
that he needs something that he's almost for sure is going to be a hit. I don't know if he can return to that character successfully, to be honest.
I don't think he can.
Because, I mean, dang.
I think the guy who's producing it probably does a really good job on things.
Oh, smart ass.
Then we got Alan Taylor to direct new Terminator movies. I swear I read that earlier and it said Transformers.
Game
of Thrones and Thor: The Dark World director Alan Taylor is in talks to direct the Terminator reboot For Paramount Pictures, Skydance Productions, and Annapurna Pictures, reports Variety.
We don't need any more Terminator
The first in
movies.
the standalone trilogy, Terminator, will be produced by Megan Ellison of Annapurna and David Ellison of Skydance. Dana Goldberg and Paul Schwake of Skydance will serve as executive producers. So
we don't need more Terminator.
So just no.
Just no.
Just no.
Just no.
Freddie Mercury biopic has been canceled. Sacha Baron Cohen pulled out of the movie, and apparently that just put the ending on that, which sucks. I think I would have really enjoyed seeing that, if only just for the music. Yeah, I mean, I would just buy the music.
I'd go see it in a concert hall. I think that would be cool to have like a giant projector for it, just to watch it for the music. That would have been great.
Let's see what else we got. Then we got a little bit of
We're gonna ruin
TV
some
news.
people's time because I don't know if they've seen this. True Blood has their final season announced.
And it's coming to an end
Next year.
After
6 seasons of Sex and Blood, HBO has announced that the upcoming 7th season of True Blood will be its last.
True Blood has been nothing short of a defining show for HBO. This is noted Michael Lombardo, president HBO programming, in a statement. Alan Ball took the books by Charlene Harris, assembled a brilliant cast led by the magnificent Anna Paquin, the role of Sookie Stackhouse, and created a show that has taken
its many devoted fans on an unforgettable journey. Together with its legions of fans, it will be hard to say goodbye to the residents of Bon Temps, but it looks forward to what promises to be a fantastic final chapter. I'm glad they're announcing it, because remember, when we were younger, shows just stopped. I think it's cool that
the thing with this is I agree with a lot of people. I think it's time. Because from what I watched it for about 3 or 4 seasons of it, and it started to get weird. I think it's going to it's going to start to get kind of just strange, and so I think it's time that they brought it to an end. Next thing, we've got some video game news. Xbox One release date. We're just going to tell you the release date. It apparently has been announced. The Microsoft's next-gen console will be hitting store shelves worldwide on November 22nd. It has been confirmed by Microsoft, and it will be there then. Nice. I'm not going to buy one. Not for a very long time. I've still got a white Xbox 360.
nice.
And the older, bulkier version of the PlayStation 3. So why the heck am I going to buy that?
I'm thinking about buying it, and I'm also thinking about not. I want to try this because I want to play this game with Trent. Stan Lee is a playable character in the Lego Marvel Superheroes game. I want to play now just to be Stan Lee and have him run around punching things, screaming Excelsior. And there's a short 1-minute trailer of Stan Lee. Check out the link. I really, really want to play it. Does he scream Excelsior, Spencer? Does it happen?
I don't know, but I just think that's hilarious.
And finally, apparently, as we always end,
I've got to fix this.
It's more chick news, and we now know who is going to be Christian and Anna for 50 Shades of Grey.
Dakota Johnson and Charlie Hunnam are going to play Anastasia Steele and Christian Grey in 50 Shades of Grey. I don't necessarily care anything about this, but my wife does.
On top of that, it says, now chicks know why what we nerds feel when they don't cast who we want.
Apparently there is a recast vote going on, like they're wanting, kind of like with the Batman thing, there's a big petition out there for them to recast. But honestly, if we've learned anything from movies, it's that we don't know anything about movie making.
No.
So let them have it. I love how we're like, yeah, let them have it. Blah blah blah. Ben Affleck. What? But so that's for your girly news, and that is the end of our news. The last thing we've got is last week's question of the week. If you could rewrite any scene in any movie, what would it be and how would you change it? This is from Miner8399. We got one good answer, two good answers. Shane Miller says the part when Napoleon Dynamite says "Gah" and have Pedro snap his neck. I'm good with that.
That's a much shorter story.
Go for it. Your turn.
And the producer, the post-credit scene in Iron Man 3, I would have him in Stark Tower in New York City getting some sort of distress signal from outer space and maybe a video or something with a main cast member from Guardians of the Galaxy trying to reach someone on Earth.
I can see that. And then let's see. Let's go with the number one, the top one. Since the RoboCop trailer has came out, which movies do you think should never be remade?
Stargate!
Stargate is a great one. What should never be remade? Never's a long time. Honestly, I don't know that anything's like off limits to me.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off should never be remade.
Christmas Vacation, that one cannot be remade.
High five on that.
Okay. So, Christmas Vacation, never remade. We can't count Star Wars because they don't necessarily remake it. They just fuck it up in post-production.
Grease, good answer. They tried to. It made Grease 2. The Matrix, no one should ever try to do that ever again.
I'd be okay with that. Like, trying to redo that.
Yeah.
So, guys, we want you to make sure, and don't just give us the answer. Maybe tell us why, or if on the other side of that coin, if you've got something that you think would just make an awesome reboot, tell me that as well. Just make sure you put like the hashtag yes reboot, or better yet, hashtag Team Noob. That's right. If you want a reboot,
and hashtag Team Nerd if it should never be rebooted.
That's a good one. I like that. Guys, that's the end of our show.
An awesome reboot, Firefly. No!
Did you enjoy the show, Greg?
I had fun. Did you have fun?
I did. I think Stargate's going to make an excellent reboot.
I hate you so much. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can do so pretty much everywhere on social media. We are on Netflix.
We're on Netflix now?
We're on Netflix!
Yay! No, we're not.
I don't know why that popped in my head. We are on Twitter and Facebook. Both are Nerd and the Noob. You can email us.
nerdandthenoob@gmail.com.
Yep. Our individual Twitters are
Mango IRL
and Gman0184.
You can go to nerdandthenoob.com, and that takes you straight to our Facebook page, or you can go to nerdandthenoob.niceboard.com to go to our forums.
I'm totally thrown off.
Are you?
I'm out of it for some reason all of a sudden.
Alright, guys. Well, you have a wonderful week. We will see you next time. Wonder Twin Powers!
Fuck me.
Do it. By the way, we're twins. That's why I think this is hilarious. Do it. You started it. Now do it. Say it with enthusiasm. What?
Just say it with enthusiasm. It's
Do it. Say it.
Ow!
Do it. I will Barney this up, and this arm is not going down until you bump it. Do it. Wonder Twin Powers. Activate. Form up. We're out of here. Peace.
Out. I got 3 in.
You liked that, didn't you?
I hate you so much.